Hey guys, good morning. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. I was putting my face
It's every day now. We might as well say we're 10:35.
We'll just there's no excuse. It's kind of like when you're late for work, because this basically is our job. So, sorry we're late. We'll try better next time. Are we logged into private? Okay.
Yes, we are.
So when you come on, if you want to just say hi, tell us where you're from. We're going to be making Farmhouse Coasters today. We saw the IOD sisters made some months ago, and we're kind of behind the trend, but we bought the coaster bases on Amazon and then never bothered to make coasters. I have two friends with birthdays coming up, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity, and one of those friends just got a new coffee table. So
gotta protect
that coffee table. So Zeb's gonna show you what we're gonna be using underneath the base of our coasters. I'm gonna go grab the ink pad and the tape.
Okay, so this is just cork board, if that's a thing. It's cork with a sticky backer. And Jamie got these on Amazon. How much were they? There's like 50 of them here.
Like $14 for 50. We'll drop a link when we're not live.
So you just peel this backer off. And then I've got some MDF that's left over from the CNC machine. And we will just sticky those on there. And then we've also got some cedar fencing that I sanded down smooth. And I think that'll work really well on that as well. So that's what we're going to use, and that'll put that foam down on the bottom and protect whatever's down there. Nice shiny table or end table or nightstand, whatever you've got.
All right, we got some really sad painter's tape.
Really sad painter's tape?
Yeah, it's really sad painter's tape, so there's that. Hopefully you guys have watched, we did a video earlier this week showing you guys how to use found items and vases to do cut and potted flowers for inside your house. I am happy to say that nothing has died, and all my cut flowers are still doing great. I planted some hyacinth in a toolbox and it's doing really good. And I'm actually thinking on the other side of the toolbox, it's kind of skinny, I'm going to plant some like grass. So definitely check out on Friday. We will have our spring home tour, so check that out. And we'll show you all the things. Okay, so we've got a couple of things already painted here. White Swan, Apothecary, they're drying, so we're gonna paint some more, but we wanted to get them started so that way. Zeb, you got, there's like a splatter of Apothecary all over these.
I'm just blending it.
That was not the idea here.
You know, I took your splatter technique and I was...
Yeah, you're funny. All right, we're moving this along. All right, let's paint some more on here.
We'll make sure to put the link for these. You're going to have to sit, or else you're just looking at your neck. We're going to put the link for these that we got, the cork backers. We'll put those down in the description after the video is no longer live. I can't put a description in the video when it's live, and you can find that link there.
You want to real stain those ones?
Yep, I'm going to real stain the cedar boards, and we may paint over them. We may just leave them. Stained, so we'll see. This is real stain number 2. It's nice light gray. When it goes on, it activates, not reactivates, with whatever wood you're putting it on. Some pine woods don't have much of a reaction, but the cedar should get really nice and dark.
The pine reaction, you just have to put multiple coats on there. There are some pigments. It's not entirely reactive, so it will work on any wood. But every wood tone is going to take it differently. What I like about this project of doing coasters is we're always talking about how to make more money, how to decorate on the cheap, and coasters is like the perfect project that you can do with leftover wood, MDF, whatever you have lying around. You can cut it up and not waste it. And you can sell these. People sell them all the time in like sets of 4 for, I don't know, like $14.95 for a set of 4 custom coasters.
And this is just scrap wood that I used.
And it's just scrap wood. You're using leftover paint that's, you know, a little, I mean, there's just hardly anything left in the bottom of this quart. And it's like the perfect, when you can't paint a whole dresser with like a dab of paint, but you can paint 4 coasters.
Oh, so. Yeah. Leftover paint, scrap wood. You could even do transfers, like we use the scrap transfers on the bunnies.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get asked this, so I do want to tell you, we won't be sealing it probably on this live because they won't be ready yet. But I would not seal these with wax because it doesn't hold up well to heat. So we're going to be sealing these with DIY Big Top or Sweet Pickins Top Coat. Both of those work really well. We like both of them because they're all natural. If you're watching us for the first time and you want to buy the paint, the stamps, the stencils that we're using, you can pick that all up at jamirayvintage.com. We've got White Swan, Apothecary, and Real Stain #2.
So Veronica Mendoza asked a question. Hey, I need help. I would like to know what other products I can use to seal chalk paint. I don't know what you're using already, but we use all kinds of liquid sealers on chalk paint. Oil wax. We've got the top coat from Sweet Pickins. DIY Big Top is excellent. It's a little shinier than top coat, so if you're looking for like a satin finish, that's a really good go-to. We use waxes. The DIY clear wax is really good on all kinds of chalk paints. So it just depends on what look you're going for.
For sure.
If you need something really durable, then I would say go with a liquid top coat. Those are gonna last longer. Wax is strong. If you put 2 to 3 coats of wax on a piece, it's gonna hold up really well. But if it's like a tabletop or something like a coffee table where people are gonna be really heavily using it and putting drinks and things and their feet up on it occasionally, I would go with a liquid sealer.
Yeah, for sure. And the Real Stain #2 that he's using will dry and be ready to stamp in about 15 minutes. Traditional stain is going to be 24 hours. So if you're doing this project and you're using traditional stain, wait 24 hours after you use it. Do it in traditional stain. You're going to need to be in a well-ventilated area. You don't want to do it inside your house. Just things to keep in mind. So the products we use are all natural. We get asked a lot about doing it in our kitchen. We feel completely safe using these here. In fact,
the Real Stain kind of smells like vinegar right now because it's been sitting in our fridge for a while, and maybe a hint of sour milk because it is like a milk
all natural.
Stain. But
we do not waste it.
It's not gonna stay. It's not gonna make your furniture smell. It goes away as soon as it's dry.
For sure. And when we get down to the bottom, there's usually pigments left. We add more water, shake it up, and we use every last drop of it because it is a little bit expensive, but there are a lot of different things you can do with it besides just staining a tabletop or whatever. So do we have questions coming that I need to answer while we're waiting on paint to dry?
Dawn Newsom says she's excited to use her $200 gift card for the website.
She's gonna, when she gets all her stuff, we need a picture so we can share it.
Yeah. Here, I'll let you handle that.
Oh, if you guys have been wanting to take our class, so I shouldn't say our because Zeb's staying home with the kids.
I'm doing all the pre-work.
If you want to take the classes in California, I do know that we are over half sold out of the class at Debbie's. I'm not sure about the class at Mara's. If Caitlin is on here, if she could drop the link to the class on the 27th at Debbie's Design Diary, Debbie's going to be assisting me. And then our class on the 26th of April that is going to be done at Mara's shop in Fallbrook, which is going to be a milk paint corbel class. She'll drop the link down there. I know that one we've sold quite a few too, so I don't want you to miss out on that if you're interested.
So I just wanted to show you kind of the variation in tone. This is a little bit more reddish on the cedar fencing plank that we had. And this is what it looked like raw. It'll dry grayer, and the gray will pick up like all these highs and lows in the wood grain. And then this one here was a little bit lighter, and it went more gray on it. So this one, to get really gray, you probably have to do 2 or 3 coats on there. But we're going to leave it. We're just going to do 1 coat for this purpose.
I know I already mentioned it, but somebody just asked how much we will be selling these coasters for. In our shop, a set of 4 will be $14.95. Basically, that just covers our time because the materials are negligible, leftovers, not very much paint, leftover wood.
A cedar plank is $2, and I could probably get 10 coasters out of it.
For sure. And the cork is relatively inexpensive too. You could charge even more if you're getting really fancy on them. We kind of keep our prices reasonable for the area that we sell in. So what is the wood that is gray that Zeb just showed? So that's cedar fencing that we've sanded down. It's just from the local hardware store. We use it a lot for framing out signs. We always have a small portion left over, right?
Yep. You can show them. It's left over from framing this sign that Jamie did in our live video last Wednesday.
So last week we did this sign, and Zeb used a piece of cedar and he ripped it down and framed it. I actually painted it white, so if you guys watch that. This is going to be going up soon because we're getting everything ready for our spring home tour. And there's always a little bit of cedar fencing left over, so it's always a good option. And we have a CNC machine that we cut out things that we sell on our website, like the bunnies that we just came out with, the little houses. there's always portions of that board, the MDF.
That's what the
over.
MDF
this is.
is.
MDF on these ones. There's left over that we can't cut anything out of, but I hate to waste it. So this is a really good option. Let's see.
Well,
the painted ones are MDF. Yes, these are MDF. And we will seal them very good to make sure that the MDF obviously isn't going to be getting wet. You want to make sure that whatever you're making your coasters out of, you're sealing it with a liquid top coat, probably 2 to 3 coats at least, to make sure that they're going to be wipeable and last for a good long time.
Yeah, a sheet of 1/2 inch MDF, a 4 by 8 foot sheet of 1/2 inch MDF is, I think it's like $32. So we use it all.
My shirt says "Meet me on the beach." Sorry guys, this is like my favorite. If I'm not wearing a Jami Ray Vintage shirt, you'll probably catch me wearing this shirt. Although it is getting hot, so I'm gonna take off my sweater. We have weird weather here. It's like 40 in the morning and 70 in the afternoon.
Spring.
It's spring, baby. I'm so excited to show you guys my cute little plants outside on my home tour too. I put them up and all my neighbors are like, it's gonna snow again. And guess what? It hasn't snowed. And even if it does, they're going to last because I planted all plants that are tolerant to cold weather and a little bit of snow. Oh, sweet. Caitlin's dropping those links. She already dropped the link for the class with Debbie's Design Diary. And then, is this one? Katie, I think you may need to re-drop the link to that one class. It kind of went weird. But anyways, drop the link to the class with Debbie again. If you're watching this on the replay, just hit the description button. The links will be below.
All right. So you can see in the video there, these are the lighter planks from a lighter piece of wood, and then this was more reddish cedar, and that's what we got on the varying tones.
So I have a question from Leslie Clements. I'm going to refinish my kitchen table. The top is not real wood. What would you use to make it look like it has a dark stain? It's light oak looking now. I would say like a dark brown paint would work really good. Noble brown or layered chocolate. And then you could even possibly, we recently have a video where we show a little bit of it, but if you use the IOD stamps, you could like layer those up, the barnwood plank stamps, and maybe give it a barnwood look. I don't know. That might be an option. But paint gel stain, General Finish just makes a gel stain if you're patient and you can let it dry. That's also a good one. And should we ever get Dark and Decrepit back in stock, DIY paint makes Dark and Decrepit. You could lightly sand it and put that over the top and do a few coats and then seal it. The best option is always to stain a tabletop because that's going to hold up the best. But the next option would be paint or like Dark and Decrepit. So hopefully that helps you. I want to get hit in the face with one of your coasters, but only if we...
What?
I don't know. Someone's... Blanco, I don't know where you're going with that. All right, is that dry?
Yeah, these ones here, they still are a little cool to the touch, meaning they're not quite all the way dry. That's a good way to tell. So maybe instead of stamp, let's stencil them, because the stamp will pull off the base coat if it's not dry all the way. Okay, stencil these two, and then we'll wait on these other ones. Yeah. I'm going to be ready to do something on these soon. Well, why don't you stencil them? You bet. I'll talk questions. You do stencil. All right. All right, so we're using our Jami Ray Vintage stencils. And the nice thing I always like to tell people is these stencils are great for signs. I don't know if they're going to be able to see that. Yeah, they can. But you can also use a portion of the stencil to do different things instead of using the whole one. I'll help them see. Thank you, Caitlin, for taking care of the creeper. You're my home girl. Iris, we got him. All right, so you see that better? There you go. The bunny one, the rabbit, is really fun. It's super detailed. I made my own stencils. So the Jami Ray Vintage stencils are all designed by me. I send my handwritten, hand-drawn out designs to my manufacturer. They digitize and cut them for me. So I don't physically make them, but I do design all of my stencils. And then I have a manufacturer who has way better quality than I could ever do. And the nice thing is that I was able to make them so they can be used over and over again. If you use a lot of stencils, you know, sometimes they're kind of flimsy and thin. These are super thick. In fact, they're like, are you sure you want to go that high grade of stencil material? And I was like, yup. So I'm loving them because you can use them a lot. So that's going to use the flower one, kind of off center it. All right. And tape it on, right? Yep. Okay, what color should I do? Should I do apothecary? Or black. I think I'm going to do apothecary on it. I think it'll be fun. I think apothecary. Remember when you did those trays with the apothecary? It's just not dark enough. Let me find something darker. Okay, you want to do the gray? Yeah, let's do like metal color. There's some black in there that's open too. I think we've got little black dress on the bottom.
Or bohemian blue.
So let me show you while she's grabbing the darker paint. I'm gonna just kind of off center it here, so some of the basket will be off, some of the flowers will be off, and then we'll probably leave this negative space and just leave that alone. We could go crazy and like do a bunch of different patterns, or even like these 3 little flowers by themselves, I think would be kind of cool.
All right, we're gonna use best black.
I can't quite fit the words fresh flowers side by side, but you could do like these 3 little flowers, and then that would be fun to do this and then drop it down lower and do fresh flower market kind of staggered like that.
Tina says we should go to Oklahoma and do a class with Dion. That would be fun.
Oklahoma's a long ways away.
Yeah, it's a little bit far. The California, my flight is like an hour to California.
All right, I'm just gonna dip the stencil brush.
I would actually take it and move it down so that looks like the
More
bottom.
flowers?
More flowers, less basket.
All right.
You want me to tape that on there?
Not at all.
You got this.
No taping
You're
whatsoever.
gonna use your man muscles to get that stencil.
I'm just gonna hold it.
Colorado's not too far. We have family there. The problem is there's like, we try not to take too many weekends away. There is
We still got little kids at school.
a distinct,
And summers are very, very busy.
there is a distinct possibility, should the stars align, we could be in Europe this fall. You heard it here first. Zep's gonna be like, don't say that.
I was like, I thought should the stars align, I thought it was a done deal.
We haven't paid for the trip yet, but we will let you know if that works out. We're trying to work out the dates with my son's football schedule. Yeah, so if we wind up going to Europe this fall, we will do a meetup there. But we only usually do like 2 or 3 trips for work a year. My husband always yells at me when I use a knife to open the paint.
It's the screwdriver of the kitchen. It'll be okay. The paint's all natural.
I buy my knives at IKEA. We had a really nice set of silverware when we were first married. I think it was Lennox. I bought it at Costco, but I got an amazing deal on it. It was a service for $12. We have like 2 of each left. So now we buy everything at IKEA.
The kids don't respect it. Spoons are basically a shovel for the backyard to find the worms.
Yeah, Jack is constantly out back with my silverware, so I no longer buy expensive silverware. Caitlin says, is it a company trip? LOL. It's a Jamie and Zeb company trip. Possibly with some other DIY paint retailer.
Oh man!
Are you so excited? I'm dying. It looks so good. That's why you're the stencil master. I am not worthy. Look how cute that is. All right, so let's do a set of 4, like with similar looks on it, so we can make a set. Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
Just held it down, no taping.
It's because you work out. You got those muscles there. All right.
Yeah, my fingers are so strong holding
Next,
the stencil down.
let's do chicken next.
All right, I'm gonna do just a little chick, and we're gonna go with the flower kind of offset theme.
All right, let's see if you can do it again. I don't know. We're using Fairy Chalk Mother Best Black. I do love the DIY little black dress, but if I use DIY paint, I have to seal it first, so that way if I distress it, it doesn't powder. Fairy Chalk Mother is less pigmented and does not powder the way that DIY paint is, so I can distress this without having to worry about really muddying up my white underneath, although the white underneath might powder a little bit and gray out my black, which I'm actually okay with. Just throwing that out there. The brush is the little C. Yes, we're using the little C brush right now. I forgot to mention it. I'm a horrible salesperson.
Oh.
All of our brushes, whether it's a zebra brush or a paint pixie, are on sale for 20% off this entire week. The sale really only happens like every 6 months. So if you've been holding out for a paintbrush, definitely now is the time to stock up. People have been loving on our paintbrushes. We've been ordering more in because they've been selling like crazy. So if you've been waiting and you want some good brushes to work with, definitely check that out at jamirayvintage.com. The sale price is already in there. It says like save so much money on the bottom. That'll show you how much you're saving on each brush. You don't need a code or anything. We try to make it simple. Oh, Paint Pixie's on here. Hello, friend. That's Josie. She is the owner of Paint Pixie, and the brushes come all the way from Italy, but Josie designs them, quality controls them, ships them, shows us how to use them. So Jean insists I got my brushes ordered already. Good girl. All right, will you guys carry DIY brushes in the future? We have not, because the Paint Pixie brushes, other than not being synthetic, are very similar. But if there's a huge demand for it and people email Caitlin, she will order them. But as of yet, nobody's bothered to email her and say that they for sure want them. If you just gotta have DIY brushes, let us know. But the DIY brushes, just like the DIY paint, will never go on sale online because it's a DIY company policy.
Sorry, I was almost ready to reveal and then realized that some of my leg.
Can you use DIY paint to create a powder glaze finish? Joy, I have no idea. But I'm not saying I won't try it, so maybe we'll stick that in the repertoire. Oh, look how cute, Zeb. Good job.
All right, I think I'm ready for some stamps.
No,
well,
we gotta make a whole set stenciled.
A whole stencil set, okay.
So the next one is the rabbit.
Next one is the rabbit. I think I'm gonna do the rabbit.
I'm giving these to my friends for their birthday. I'll be like, handmade by Zeb. I brushed them. Does that count?
This one's more dry.
I use, on something like this, well, since we're talking about brushes, when I'm painting something flat like this, hands down my go-to is the Dusty, because it's flat and you can have this painted in no time.
Where is your Dusty brush?
My Dusty's in the sink.
Uh-huh.
You guys want to see it? This is my go-to. This, if you are painting a piece of furniture or a sign or whatever, this Dusty will get that paint on there super fast. A point of knowledge about this brush is that you probably shouldn't let your brushes soak in water because it could make the nails come out. So don't do like I do. I'm horrible brush caretaker. Don't tell Josie.
She's on watching.
I know she's watching. She knows that I abuse my brushes and they still survive. Dusty is our best seller too. Yeah, it's a good one. Anytime somebody watches me paint something with that, they love it because it gets that paint on there so fast and they have to have it. Let's see, we've got a couple of hairdressers on here. Jean Sisk has been a hairdresser. Kelly says, I've been a hairdresser for 30 years. Absolutely love what I do. You guys have inspired me to open a second business at my home on our family farm, the Painted Farm, scheduled to open in May. Awesome. Nice. That's a great time of year to open too. All right, let's see. Josie says she forgives us and still loves us. Thank you. We appreciate that. Is Golden Ticket on back order? Dawn, I believe it is. Caitlin's the one to ask. Golden Ticket's one of those that comes in and out of stock. Anytime it comes in stock, we order like 40 million of them. We try not to order all of them because we want to leave some for other people, but Caitlin can tell you if that's on back order or not. I thought that I found some more in the office the other day and she put them in stock. I don't know if those have sold. Let's see, these are such a cute gift idea. I think they are. I think they're for Christmas. I think we're gonna be neighbor gifts. All right, Bunny. So I have to gush.
I like that rabbit.
Yeah, I have to gush a little bit about my Bunny stencil. Hands down, it's probably one of the most detailed Bunny stencils you're gonna find. So I love it. So if you buy no other JRB stencil, the Bunny stencil is awesome.
What do you think about just doing like flowers? Well,
have I heard of or used chalk couture? Yes and yes. In fact, my friend Brenda is one of the original designers for chalk couture, like years ago when it first came out. In fact, before they had a huge presence anywhere. I do think chalk couture is a product that works. I know that the stencils have a limited number of uses. They're kind of finicky because they're thin, but you get like super crisp lines. I prefer a traditional stencil because I like it to look a little bit more hand painted and less like it was printed at a shop. So that's just a personal preference on my part. So can't order, I need to put on back order. So once they're available to order, they'll be on the website. So Caitlin, though, are we sold out of Golden Ticket? I guess that's her question. I missed it, just got off my school bus. We'll have to watch the replay. Tamara, you drive a school bus? You are amazing.
Saint.
Bless your heart. Are you stenciling on tiles? So we're not stenciling on tiles. We are just using planks of wood that Zeb has cut.
Show them the back of that one there.
And we are going to attach corkboard to make coasters. So it's just MDF that Zeb's cut down, just scrap wood. And then we've got cork boards here. We ordered the cork boards from Amazon. hey guys, I'm putting ticking stripe on a piece right now. That's
Got
awesome.
a little juicy on this one. This is just the flower on the corner off the bunny stencil. And I probably should have brought it down a little farther so it looked like it was coming off.
You can maybe hand brush that little spot.
Yeah, I might not worry about it either.
Yeah, we might just distress it. All right, first set done.
Wait, I gotta do 2 more of those.
Oh, yeah, but these we'll have to cut more MDF so we have a set of 4.
Oh, I see.
Would it not be cute to do like a portion of the bunny on one and then the bum on another one? So like when you put them together, it makes a design.
Yes and no, because then whoever
Who
gets the
bunny
butt,
bum?
whoever gets the butt is kind of like, I got the bunny butt.
All right, let's do those ones.
Okay, these are
Do you want to stamp those?
we stained these at the very beginning, and we've been live about 15-20 minutes. They're dry to the touch. They're still a little cool. Usually, if you touch paint and it feels dry, like doesn't come off on your hand, but it still feels cool, it is not done drying. So,
all right,
just
so
fun tip.
Let's do some more. Let's do some stamps.
Hold on, I want to stamp these. I think I can stamp these just fine right now.
Okay, but I'm gonna get stamps. But somebody asked a question about cleaning the stencils. So do you want to talk
Cleaning
about
the
that?
stencils, warm soapy water, and we use, this is just our scrubbing brush from IKEA that we use. Just warm water and go over them lightly. You don't want to scrub too crazy because some of the finer details will get caught in the scrub brush. But I find this works better than a cloth because the cloth really gets caught in the scrub brush. So, or not caught in the stencil, not the, here, let me show you. So, you see how that like pokes through there? It's a little more forgiving than like a cloth rag would be. So just, and the paints we use are water-based, so they come off really easy with water.
So I'm thinking this next set should be for Kelly. So let's do some stamps, but then monogram it with an R.
Okay.
Not Kelly, no. Mandy. What's Mandy's last name? I don't know.
She's got a new one and I don't know it.
Mandy, no, she just got married. Hold on. I hope she doesn't watch this live. Keller. Keller? Is that right? Oh,
I don't know.
All right, you start stamping, and I'm going to look it up on Facebook and make sure I got the last name right. So we can monogram. But she's a newlywed, so doing a monogram will be fun. So you get the base done. Let me go grab my phone. Where's my phone at?
Where it was over there. Don't ding it. It's on the table.
All right, I found it.
So how do you want, what stamp do you want on here?
I don't know, pick one. She has kind of a farmhouse design. Oh, I got it right, yeah, Keller. So we're gonna put a K on there. Where can you buy these locally? So if you want to try to find them locally, you can go on to the manufacturer's website, whichever product we're doing, and use the retailer locator, and that should help you find something locally. I know that all these brands have retailers. If you don't have somebody local, you can go jamirayvintage.com and we can ship them to you. Or if you need something specific, I know a lot of times people will need like a bunch of different products and they need like multiple quarts and things, so it's just easier to order it all in one place.
I know I've seen the farmhouse animals on there a lot, but I like them. Does she like the farmhouse stuff like that?
Polyurethane, I never use polyurethane because it will yellow. If I were to use anything, it would be like a polyacrylic, water-based. I prefer using all natural products. That's why I've switched over to like the DIY and the Sweet Pickins, but I wouldn't use polyurethane. How do you store the IOD stamps? Oh my heavens.
In a box flat.
In a box, flat, like this giant box. We have thousands of dollars worth of stamps, stencils, and otherwise
in a box.
I'll show you, wait. We've got to come up with a better option.
We need something better, but for now we just shuffle through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just freehand these.
Here's the box O stamps. Everything's in here. There's a stamp. There's some essential stencils. Wait, there's some more stencils. Oh, look, there's some stamps there. That's how we store them. They store flat so they don't get wrinkled, but it's kind of a pain to dig through them. All right, so what have you decided on?
I'm gonna go farmhouse animals and then we can
and
monogram.
we're gonna do the monogram.
We'll do like the little K, like over in the corner. In a different color. So this is...
In a different color, we only have one color.
Well, maybe we'll do it in paint.
Okay. Oh, like white paint.
So this is just the IOD stamp pad, and with IOD ink on it, this is the black. And if you want a really crisp detail on your stamp...
How big would you say these are? 3 by 3?
No, I'd say they're probably closer to 4.
4x4. The carpenter speaks. The thing about using ink as opposed to paint with your stamps, you're going to get a much crisper image with ink. However, you got to be careful not to shift it because ink will blur and be more obvious than a blurred paint. I feel like paint looks a little bit more hand painted.
So we put this on the rougher wood because this didn't sand as smooth as like the MDF, and I still got tons of detail out of that stamp.
The ink's going to give you better detail, and using an ink pad is going to make it more even as opposed to a brayer. For a long time we didn't have ink pads, now we do, so we use the ink pad for ink. We use the brayer if we're going to be putting paint on a stamp.
Wash those the same, just water.
Yeah, warm water, a mild detergent. If your stencil, if it's a Jami Ray Vintage stencil, I can't tell you for every brand, but if your stencil gets a little wonky or you've got some parts that have lifted like some details, just take your iron on a low setting and put a lint-free cloth over it, and you can quickly iron it out, and that will help bring your stencil down. You might want to use a cloth underneath and on top, so that way if there's any melting, you know, you're protected. But make sure it's a low setting, do it nice and quick, and you can flatten out your stencils that way. We've had to do it a few times because, you know, obviously you've seen our stencil box. We don't take the best care of them. Yeah, you can store your products in a Ziploc bag. I don't see any problem with that. The biggest thing is you want them flat so they're not getting wrinkled, especially your stencils. Where do you get you mixed? I don't know what that question is, Catherine, so re-ask it and I'll read it again. The chicken looks almost three-dimensional with texture. What's the, oh, that's the cow?
Yep, that's the cow. I'm putting it so that we can put
Manny's
it in
going
like,
to stinking love these.
put the K like all in the corner here. So even like the chicken, we'll do the K like over its butt. The cow will be in the negative space here. We'll see how I do with
We're gonna have to make a bunch of these sets for all my girlfriends because they're all gonna request them for their birthdays now. I hope you know that.
Well,
Kelly's birthday was last fall and we haven't finished her candlestick. She asked me about it on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't know that was a birthday present.
Yeah, it was. Aloha from Oahu. Well, aloha, Rebecca. Are you looking for retailers in Canada for my stencils? Right now we're not wholesaling. That's about 6 months out. But when we get to wholesaling, everybody on our YouTube channel will know. I just want to make sure that I'm set up. I have talked to my manufacturer and she is prepared. She can handle the wholesaling end of it and do drop shipping. I just need to get like a website and the tiers and everything set up. So I will probably, I would say by the end of the summer, we'll have that ready and then we'll figure out international. And she already ships internationally for me. So
I needed more ink on this one. So I'm gonna just flip my board, restain it. And then, so I went a little light on the ink on the pig. Still looks pretty good, but it's not as dark as the other one. So I'm just gonna restain this side real quick, and then the cork board will go over this bad stamp.
When you have something that's textured, or if you're stamping fabric, you want to go a little bit juicier on your ink, meaning a little bit more ink. Then if you're stamping something that's a little bit glossy, then you want to have a little less ink, maybe stamp it somewhere first before you do your glossy surface, so that way it doesn't spread everywhere. But because these are really porous and textured, you just want a little bit more ink on there. Stamping and stenciling takes practice. Zeb's much better than I am. I'm okay if I'm not on camera. It makes me nervous if there's hundreds of people watching me, so I'm not as good. That's why I'm always like, Zeb, it's your turn. You do it.
I'm gonna go put this in the sun so it can dry quick.
Do we design pillows? No, we have not. However, I am planning on possibly using some of my stencil designs on some IKEA pillow blinks for my spring tours. So definitely watch that. I'm going to be the next few days. We have a video already filmed that hopefully will be going up tomorrow, right?
Yes, it'll be up tomorrow.
So tomorrow's video is going to be Eliza's room tour. We finally finished her room. We've got that up. We were working with some brands, finally got that all approved. So that'll be up, and Friday will be my home tour. So the next few days I'm going to be working on getting everything ready. So we'll let you know. Top 3 brushes to get started. Paint Pixie number 12, French round, wax brush. Like if I could only buy 3 brushes, those would be it. I do love the Dusty, but I feel like the number 12 can do multiple things. You can blend it, you can paint flat surfaces, so that's a good one. The French round for details and two-toning, and then the wax brush because ain't nobody got time to wax by hand with a rag.
I feel like that turned out much better.
I much agree. And Zeb, did you notice he didn't wait 15 minutes?
No, I put the other one in the sun and I had another block.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So.
Sometimes we don't wait though. It's true.
Yeah, we don't.
When you're using stamps on paint though, you want it to be very dry because the stamps will actually pull off the base layer of paint. The real stain absorbs down into the wood, so it's kind of a different story.
All right, moving on to the sheet.
And Josie agrees with my 3 picks, so I guess I did good.
Yeah.
Now I have to have all of them. If you saw my post yesterday, I had like all my favorite paintbrushes all in a pile.
They all do different things.
They
really
all do
well.
different things, and I love them. For years, I just used like one paintbrush. It had a lot of texture, let's just say that.
It'll work.
Oh, you needed pink paint and used beet juice, and it worked great on your stamps. There you go. I always like doing different things. I have those stamps. The snow's still blocking my shed with wood here in New Hampshire. Dang it. Darn snow. We keep thinking, like it keeps threatening to snow here in Utah, but we keep getting rain. So I'm not sad about that. Although we've been working on the backyard, and so we keep opening these boxes, and then we get like halfway through a project, and then we leave the boxes out, and they're really soaked. So that's been fun, pulling wet boxes out of the backyard. But the place that's finished, the trampoline is half finished. The next project is going to be downgrading our wood pile, getting rid of what we're not using, and putting up some sort of shade and seating area. So once we get it to where it's not embarrassing looking, we might show you our backyard.
It's been a hard winter on the backyard, and the chickens have been free ranging for all winter basically. They went in their coop when it snowed, and that was it.
Yeah, we also bought a new chicken coop because how long has that chicken
It's
coop
5
been
years
there?
old, and it's falling apart.
Yeah, Zeb made a chicken coop out of pallet wood. I wish that we would have been YouTubing when he made it because it was awesome, but it's not been taken care of. So they're getting a new coop. We just picked that up yesterday, and we are going to put the chickens in there, and they will not be free ranging and pooping all over the playset.
Yeah, they've been eyeballing the new play set. Like, that looks like a pretty sweet place to roost. So we got to put them up.
S. Gregorich says we have a cabin in Duck Creek, Utah. Your state is beautiful. It is. When you can actually see the mountains and there's not pollution, the view is gorgeous. So that's the other thing we love about the rain. It clears up the air because we live down in a valley, and you can see the mountains, and we have some beautiful views. All right, Zeb.
Trying to figure out how to hold these and show them all at once.
Oh, did you stamp 5 of them?
I stamped 4. I messed up twice on one.
Oh.
So it's going to have to get sanded and restained.
The sheep though?
The sheep is very light. I have another better sheep.
Oh, okay. So this is Mandy's set, and we need to get the little K out.
Get the little K out so we can stamp that.
Okay. Little K. Cute little Mandy. All right. So we're gonna need the brayer, right? If we had our white ink, we could use that, but I don't have an ink pad set up for that.
Yeah, we don't have a pad set up.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can use white ink. We do carry it. It's a erasable ink, but if you seal it, it will be permanent. But we don't have that set up, so we're going to be using our brayer, which is what we like to use for paint.
Do you want to just use the white swan? I think I've got enough, maybe.
It's like
here.
Not very much.
Can
Let
you
me
put
get a
these
spoon.
back there so we can clean them? No, it'll be okay. We'll drain it down. We don't need a spoon.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Stop it. I have a spoon if you need it.
It'll be just a second.
These are Jack's favorite IKEA spoons. They're teeny tiny. I don't really know what they're for other than for babies or small people. Wait for it, it's coming.
We're almost there. I just need a
when
little
you get to
dab.
the bottom of the DIY paint, it can be a little bit thick, especially in our case because we don't clean the edges, so it's...
The lids never go on good after like the 5th try.
You should take better care of your paint cans than us. Yeah, Julie says she feels bad to pen her chickens all the time. It's possible that we will let them out, but only with us watching, because we have a very small backyard, and we bought them a bigger coop with a run underneath, so they can get some exercise.
We're getting some. I'm gonna leave this.
So Megan says I've stored stencils in hanging file folders in a file tote. Might work well for your stamps too. Smart. That's a really good idea.
Okay, so I've got.
Looking for one of those at the.
This is the K from the typeset, and I'm just gonna go freestyle like I did with the other stamps. I'm not gonna use any kind of backer or anything.
Watch Dr. Pull. He has a lot of clients that have pet chickens, and they say they're loving and caring. Our chickens are friendly. Jack picks them up and carries them all over the yard.
Yep. We also don't have any flies or insects or mosquitoes or anything in the backyard.
Okay, how much stain do you get when you order the stain? You get a quart of stain. So you're gonna get a whole, enough to make almost a whole jar. These are our jars are a little bit bigger than a quart. It's enough to do about 4 tabletops, depending on how big your table is, or like a myriad of smaller projects. So I think we used 1 quart. Was it 1 quart and we did our entire kitchen floor with it?
Of real stain, 2 quarts.
2 quarts, because we did our entry.
I had some paint on my finger.
So we did our pantry, our entire kitchen, and our dining room with 2 quarts of real stain. So it's quite a bit of surface area. So that gives you a good idea of kind of coverage. And it also depends on how many coats you're putting on. Like sometimes if I want it light, I just do 1 coat, but if I want it darker, then I do multiple coats. So something to keep in mind there. And you can also, if you want the stain to be lighter, you can put more water in it than it calls for. So sometimes I'll pour some out and then mix it with more water and shake it up, and then I can get a lighter stain, and then you can stretch it a little bit further. How tall are the letters? I think they're like 3 inches, right?
2.5 inches,
2.5.
and the
one's
smaller
like
ones are like 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches.
Depending on the letter.
Yeah.
When you order the set, you get uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. So it's a good set that you can use.
Well, you can show them. Here's.
Yeah, I feel like the letter set is one of the most versatile.
It's a little more because it's a double stamp set, but you can do. I mean, you can write so much stuff.
Well,
out
I like
them.
because you can make seasonal stuff with it. Sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. You can make seasonal stuff with it and really personalize just about anything. So I'm going to show them. See, look how cute. Little K. We're taking these to dinner next Tuesday. You know we're going out to dinner, right?
Didn't know.
Yeah. I RSVP'd.
You know that I love being surprised with dinner dates.
Yeah, don't mess that up. It's a birthday present.
I
think we're eating Mexican.
I had some white paint on my finger when I was pressing it down, and I got
We'll
some
just
right
stress
there.
these a little bit. They'll be fine. Okay, so to help with the paint gathering in the paint lip, punch a nail hole in 4 spots around the lip as the can, and then it will drain back down into the can. And then in caps it says, Jamie, read this text, please. That's smart. We'll try it.
I don't know if the DIY will drain down. It's pretty
really thick. But it might. You can maybe use a brush and push it down.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the cost of the letters? Caitlin, are they $39? I don't know. I'm a horrible salesperson. Caitlin can tell you.
I got a little white paint up above on the chicken with my finger, but
I think those turned out really good, Zeb. I think you have a career in coaster making.
yeah, you know, I might make it.
If this gig doesn't work out for you, we can push out coasters. All right, let's do the apothecary real ones. Some of you guys asked that.
Hold on, I'm gonna put a backer on these real quick.
So Sherry asked if they would ever offer sample sizes of real stain. I have been asking for that since I first started selling it. At this point, we don't have them, but know that I am requesting it. So should it ever happen, I will let you know. Maybe not samples, but at least like a pint size, so that way you can get it in a smaller size. Because yeah, I totally get that. Can the DIY paint be thinned down? Yeah, it's water-based. So everything we carry is water-based. You can thin out all the products if you need to. Just the science of water-based products with a little bit of water. Do a little bit at a time till you get a consistency that you like.
We thin everything for painting except for the top coat.
Paint Pixie brushes. He can add coaster making to his resume. Let's see. I missed a few other questions. How many members do we have now? I think like 550, right?
Yeah.
We have actually
We're a little over. I'd have to look. I haven't looked today.
We have been interviewing, because we truly believe we're going to get to 1,000. We've been interviewing video editors. We're still in that process right now, trying to find somebody that will work with us and be able to pump out the amount of videos that we need.
All right, so we've got the 2 sets here. This is on MDF. This is on cedar with stain and DIY white swan. And then we used, this is Fairy Chalk Mother in Best Black is what we were stenciling with. And they've got the backers on them to protect whatever they're sitting on real nice and neat.
All right. Do you want to do some of these birds on these apothecary ones?
Yeah, we can.
What are we thinking? Are we thinking
I'm just gonna go white.
white, or should we go black and then we'll do a white monogram? Because I actually think that Christy would love these. And we could do a white E for Elliot. Yeah?
You want to go black ink on
Black
the birds?
ink, another black ink. Let's show them what the black ink looks like on the apothecary, and then we'll do a white E on these. We'll only be able to do 2, but her birthday is not until this summer, so we should be. For her birthday, she's gonna go.
We might be able to finish the other 2 by then.
Yeah, for her birthday, she's gonna see Rachel Hollis live. I don't get to go because I'm going to girls camp the next week, so I'm gonna make up for that by having a cool set of coasters ready. Just so you guys know, we just shipped out paint to California, Arizona, and restocked Utah. So if you want the best selection of DIY paints at our retail locations, those are all stocked up and ready to go. So definitely go in and go shopping. If you need information, store hours, addresses, what have you, you can always email customercare@jamirayvintage.com and she can send you links to everybody. Vintage Retail Therapy is the Fallbrook store where we carry the milk paint and the DIY paint, and she's also an IOD retailer, so you can get that there. And then in Arizona, we have the IOD, the DIY, the Sweet Pickins. We also carry Real Stain. We've got the Pixie brushes, and there are some of our thrifted and painted products in Arizona. And then, of course, in Utah, we carry Fairy Chalk Mother DIY paint. The
Utah's
IOD,
like the mothership store.
Arizona and Utah carry our stencils. So, and then of course all of our thrifted stuff here goes into Utah. So I thought Plant Bar AZ hours were different. Those are the hours I know for Plant Bar AZ, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're closing at dark. So if they change, you can always just call the stores too. Jamie, are you going to have any paint on sale for the California events in April? So at Debbie's store, that's her paint, so you'd have to ask her. For Fallbrook, if you're taking the class, there will be a discount offered on paint that night. I have not secured the actual discount, but only for people taking the class. It won't be on sale for the general public. And I generally do that with all my classes. But I don't believe at Debbie's store, I can't talk for her because it's her paint. So I don't think she ever puts it on sale there.
So the stamps, the paint went on with the brush. I put it on pretty thick. I painted these apothecary ones and they weren't sanded beforehand, and we got some cool brush strokes on these.
On the stamps?
Yep.
Can we add some flowers?
No, monogram.
Oh, okay.
I gotta have room.
Well, on the other 2, we'll do flowers. So 2 birds, 2
yeah,
flowers.
Because the birds, branches, and blossoms comes with 2 birds, and then you get all the branches and the blossoms.
Yeah. All right, let's get the little E's on there. What time is it? Oh, 11:22. We're good.
Yep.
And today we don't have to pick up Jack because he's on a field trip and his teacher's dropping him off.
Sweet. All right. So.
Okay, how do I cover up dark colors like purple when repainting? A good primer. I like High Bond by Fairy Chalk Miller, hands down my favorite primer. I use it on my cabinets.
It is not a stain blocker.
It's not a stain blocker because it's not got a chemical in it that does that, but it will help you get better coverage with your paint over the tops of like dark purples.
You wanted to go white on the E, right?
What?
White?
Yes, white on the E. Jamie is chatty today.
She's doing the comments.
Because Zeb gave me the comments. I told him, I said, you're not answering enough people on the lives.
Sorry.
And I'm chattier than you are. It's not a secret.
It's true. Where should I put this? I think I'm going to go bottom left on these ones.
Whatever you say. What are your opinions on Waverly chalk paint sold in Walmart? I have never used it, but from what I understand, some people have used it for crafting and some people have used it on furniture. I've got a lot of complaints about people using it on furniture. That's just me. So the thing about, and I'm not just saying this just because I sell these paints, but I'm telling you the products that we sell, especially the DIY paint, is clay-based. It's got some of the most expensive bases there are in the market to make the quality paint, and you kind of get what you pay for as far as that goes. But that being said, I think if you were just doing like some small home decor crafts, it would probably work just fine, just like the little bottles of craft paint would work. But it's not going to be as good for like long-term use. Those are cute. Good job. But I can't say for sure because I've never used it. So, disclaimer.
So I got to cut 2 more of these out eventually.
I bought a bare chalk brush and a silver colored plastic split. The handle broke off the brush before I even started. The paint brushes made by Paint Pixie are not plastic. They're all wood. I'm trying to think. I think all of our brushes, even the zebras, are
The zebras also have a wood handle.
Yeah. So Paint Pixie had a plastic French round when they first came out, which I actually still have that one and it has not broken, but they quickly changed it to wood and all of the handles, as far as I know, are wood. And they've held up really, really well. So.
All right, I think we are all done for today.
Good job. All right, so if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, we'd love to have you subscribe. You hit that subscribe button. If you want to be a channel member and you want to know what that's about, we offer some extras there. Somebody asked why some names are green and some are gray. The green names with the little bird are channel members. Right next to the join button is the channel member button, or you can check the description when we're no longer live to be a channel member. Make sure you hit the notifications button. There's this little bell next to the subscribe, and that will make sure that you get notified when we have new videos. So I think that's all of it for now.
There's a link in the description if you're on Apple, iPhone, or iPad, because there won't be the join tab. You have to go to the description of the video, and it's in every single video after January.
For sure. All right, we love you guys. We'll have the Eliza's room tour up tomorrow. Friday will be our spring home tour, and then Saturday we'll be live at 8:30 with this week's thrift finds.
Check the description later. I'll have all the products we used and links to these cork board pads with the sticky back that we got from Amazon.
You can look them up on Amazon, but we'll send you the link for the ones that we used. I tried to get the best deal for the most amount. The more you buy, the cheaper they are.
All right, guys.
All right, love you guys. Bye. Have a great week. We made it.